Just tell us.
Where do you want me to look? Anywhere?
Doesn't matter where you want.
Are we ready yet?
Good. Just tell us moments removed. You know, second time in the UFC, was this a vast difference from the first time in? Was it much of a difference for you?
You know what, man? It was actually a lot more comfortability the first time. You know, it wasn't really uncomfortable, but you know, it's just kind of like the bright lights, and I was so excited to be there. Which, you know, the excitement's still there, but now I knew how to kind of stay more composed and really take it all in, look around, see all the fans' faces and stuff, and the experience gets better every time. The UFC's the best in the world.
Did you just jump when they gave you the call? Was there any hesitation about taking the fight on short notice?
No, not at all. You know, I always, whenever my managers call me with a fight, you know, my managers are going to do the best thing for me. I know that. I put all my faith and trust in them, as well as all my coaching staff, Cattell Cubis, Conan Silveira, Ricardo Laborio, down the best team in the world, American Top Team. And, you know, as soon as they give me the go-ahead, I get into training camp, which I'm always training, but I jump straight into a hard training camp, and I get myself ready to go to battle.
Justin, congratulations on the win. In the second round, I believe it was, that he maybe had you in a little bit of a trouble. How much of a deep trouble were you in that, with that choke he got you in the second round?
None at all. You know, I train at the best team in the world. You know, a lot of guys will look at that and be like, oh, you know, maybe he's caught or something, but I was in half guard, I was passing. I train at American Top Team. We got the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, so you know, I've been in that position a million times. I understand it's definitely a threat. He's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. He can transition very easily, but I kept my cool. You know, I trained with the best in the world, and I knew I was going to get out of it and put a pounding on him.
You're 21 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
So at 21, did you expect you'd be here in the UFC with an arena full of people watching you? Is this what you had in mind?
Absolutely. I expected to be here sooner than that, actually. You know, as soon as I turned pro, you know, before that, you know, I started training martial arts full time when I was 3 years old. You know, I dropped out of high school when I was 17. This is what I always wanted to do. I never gave myself a backup plan. I put myself full into the world of martial arts, and it's never been anything less. You know, there's no going to these other organizations to me are crap. The UFC is the best in the world, and I never have my goals on anything but the UFC.
Well, you're on the right track.
Talk about the between the first round and the second round. You were talking to Ricardo, and you guys were actually laughing, it seemed like, or he was laughing at basically at your performance. Can you talk about what makes you different from other fighters in the sense that you can sort of switch back and forth between that really positive, happy energy and then go in and switch on the competitive fire?
Actually, there's Conan Silveira in my corner. Another legend. He's getting confused. They're both great guys. But you know, we were sitting there smiling. I came back to the corner, and we were doing exactly what we training every day. It's just like, you know, you're doing perfect, and you know, it's fun for us. This is why we do it. We don't do it to come in here and be mean fighters all the time. We do it because it's not only is it a sport, but it's fun to me. This is what I want to do with my life. This is, you know, I'm truly living a dream right now, and it's just, I can't help but smile because I know that I want to infect people with that and let them know that you can achieve your dreams. You can have whatever you want if you just go out there and get after it. And I'm living the dream right now, and you know, why not smile all the time?
When you've got so many teammates all preparing for one card, a lot of times we'll hear the positives of all peaking for one time. Are there any negatives in terms of spreading the coaching thin, or anything that, usually it's always just assumed it's a positive?
You know, if you ever come, you know, you should make a trip down to American Top Team sometime and check it out. There's no lack of coaches. You know, actually, I can't even tell you, we had probably 10 guys fighting worldwide. Actually, Conan Silveira was cornering a guy up in Indiana the night before. He got on a plane, he flew right back here, and you know, they make sure that they get to everybody, they give everybody the attention they deserve, and we're a huge family as well as the best team in the world.
You mentioned a huge family. Didn't 60 of you go to Buca di Beppo last night for dinner?
Yeah, dude, we had a bus. We had reservations for 70. You know, Dan Lambert, he's kind of like the dad over everybody. He's like, you know, we're a family. We're gonna keep this as a family, and you know, it's intimidating to guys. You know, they come in there with maybe one or two coaches, and we're sitting at a round table with Tyrone Woodley, Robbie Lawler, Hector Lombard. You know, I look over at other guys, I'm just like, hey, you see my crew. You know what I mean? Like, you see who I'm rolling with. I'm not worried.
You want the UFC to give you like, how fast do you want to hit a top-ranked fighter? Are you ready for one yet?
Well, I mean, Will Campuzano, that guy's been around. That guy's fought, you know, some of the toughest guys. You know, not at 25, but at 35. He ended up getting finished, but he's had tough fights with Eddie Wineland. He's had fights with top competitors. You know, but what I think people are looking past is I'm just running through these guys. You know, so you think, oh, you know, do you want to step up in competition? Like, he was definitely a step up in competition. You know, I'm taking it one fight at a time. I know I'm going to be world champion. I know I'm going to be world champion. You shouldn't expect anything less from yourself, and I know where I'm headed. And I'm taking it. You know, I'm listening to my managers. I listen to my coaches. I'm very smart about my career, and you know, I'm going to go out there and fight whoever they put in front of me, and I'm going to finish them. You know, beat them up, and that's just the way it goes.
You've been fighting since you were 3. Is there a veteran that you've modeled your career after that you see that you'd like to follow their path?
Absolutely. You know, when I was 3 years old, I started. My first karate instructor was a guy named Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I grew up with him. You know, me and him are super close. That guy's still, you know, we don't talk that much anymore, but he's still one of my best friends in the world. You know, I would like to still get advice from him sometime if I can, ever talk to him again. But if you look at my stand-up, that's Wonderboy stand-up right there. You know, I've branched out and added a lot of stuff to my style, and tried to evolve it. But guys like Stephen Thompson, and more it's the attitude I see in fighters. And the best fighters in the world that I see, they always have that can-do attitude that you don't ever expect anything less from yourself, but to be the best. I think you set yourself up for failure. When reporters ask you a question, they're like, "Oh, you really think you're the best in the world?" You don't want to backtrack on that. I am the best in the world at what I do, and nobody will ever have me say anything different.
When do you want to get back in there?
As soon as possible. I'm heading right back down to Florida. I'll be in wrestling practice on Monday with my coach, Coach Kami, the best in the world, and I'm going to be ready to go. I moved down there permanently, so let's go. Well, I'll talk to my managers and coaches, and I'm ready to do it, baby.
Thank you.